Well, this is embarrassing. Well, guys, I really appreciate your support that I've seen from my personal Facebook and also recently my Instagram on what could be the possible scenario. But I found the culprit. The clutch. There's, well, nothing wrong with this clutch as far as I know, except our set screw here has come out. It's MIA, and because of that, it had some play on the shaft, making said knocking noise. If you don't believe me, I'm gonna turn that key on for a second. Choke, pull. So yeah, nothing. No knock. We're clean. We're good. I'll work on getting a spacer for our clutch and also finding a set screw for said clutch so it kind of stays in one place. But I think our solution has been found. So I was going to end the video there, but I just decided I want to turn this into kind of like a full episode because there's another thing I wanted to do. So after I replaced that starter motor, there's nothing wrong with it. It's new, it works great, but that battery you see there, it's a piece of junk now. After a full charge and trying to only give out just 70 cold cranking amps, it's not turning this thing over efficiently. So earlier I said this was a CTX 5-pound battery. That's because this is a 12 volt, 4.5 amp hour, 70 cc motorcycle battery. If you've got a electric start kit, I'd probably recommend getting something slightly stronger than this, and that's where this bad boy comes in here. So this is a CT9B4 wet charged power sports battery, non-spillable AGM, by the same brand. Got it from the same store down the street, and this one here is 12 volts, 8 amp hours, 120 cold cranking amps. We tested it on site at the store, and it cranked over like no tomorrow. So this battery is in theory pretty much 90% charged, 100% charged or so, so it should be able to crank over again for another test fire here in just a little bit. But I got some work to do first because unfortunately at the moment it fits, but we're hitting the wheel and we're hitting the seat. So there's a few things we can do, but the simplest thing that we can do is cut off these welds that I did because I had to re-weld this recently, and just turn it sideways. Try turning it sideways, see how that looks and fits, and see if we can slap the battery in like that. Another option is to take the same tray, plop it right here, but then again, if you think about it, that's where I sit. Ain't that really safe, if you get what I mean. We could weld it right here too, or have it stick like that, but again, not risking it. We can also come to this side and do the same thing, or we can come along the back and do it like that too. We have plenty of options. Let's see what we can figure out. But the first thing I need to do is to cut that guy free. And then I can actually show you how I've come along with welding so far, because that's my third time welding. I'll just let you see it again here. Oh, and just tell me how I did. All right, let's go ahead and do this. There we go. Check that out. That's crazy. I really glopped the snot out of that guy. All right, let's go ahead and clean this up then. So thankfully it still fits in here, which is quite nice. And, oh, perfect. Yes. That will work. I normally put the bolts up like this, but then again, if I put them in down like that, it should fit. So if we just do like a dry fit of this guy here, oh, this is gonna be a heavy boy. So do that. Get our shiny piece here, which is, and the good thing is I can see threads on the other side being spaced out. This is just a little nylon spacer, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. These are quarter 20 bolts length. I don't recall, but they are pretty long because of the battery. But yeah, if we put our nut on the underside here and just tighten it down, this will be a piece of cake, and we can still mount it like this. All right, well, I'm going to clean this bracket up then, and then we will cut to me starting to weld. All right, let's do this. I have my welder set to 107 amps, DC EP, DC electrode positive. I'm just going to tack it in place for the minute because I realized I can actually mount it like this. So I'm going to try that in a second. Oh. You're going to see a lot of this because I'm still getting used to this electrode. There we go. Whoa. Oh. Whoa. I need to get to a better position. Oh, almost. Almost had her started. There we go. All right, well, that's globbed on there. See, once I can get it started, it's kind of smooth sailing from there, but I'm a little rusty. Well, not a little, a lot rusty. The other issue I have too is I can sometimes barely see, like I don't have enough light. That's tacked on there. Whoa, easy there, Sparky. Let me tell you something too, welding is not easy learning, but a stick welder is a good place to start. Alright, let me turn this off. Alright, let's give it a minute to cool down. So yeah, that was an experience. I'm letting it cool now. I've just put a little bit more globs here and there. Use this wire brush to kind of clean it up. That's what it's looking like now. I'm just gonna let this cool and just not touch it because I don't want to break it and be like, darn it, I have to re-weld, which wouldn't mind doing it. It's just a pain in the butt. The welds are now penetrating through this metal here, and I like to try to savor this bracket anyway. So we might be able to use the same length wires down there, but we are gonna have to get different ring terminals because if you haven't noticed the screws on this bad boy, whoo doggy, these guys are big. These go on the battery, and then there's a little square nut down there to, where is it? I don't know where it is. It's right down there. So yeah, those little square nuts down there, we'll tighten up. Now I gotta find a ring terminal that will fit this guy. I'll catch you in a bit. All right, so I had to actually re-weld this because this unfortunately wiggled off. And I also learned that using a higher current helps it not to stick, as you probably saw in the previous clips. I actually got it to start very more fluidly. I really wanted to learn, I really want to use E7018s and like learn that, but those are just hard to start. So the E6013s here seem to have worked better. And like I said, I used 110 amps of current on the 1/8 of an inch electrodes, and it started really good. And well, as I like to say, glob the snot out of it. So if you have any helpful tips, please put them down in the comments. I'm new to welding. This is my 4th and 5th time welding, and this time it's not going anywhere. I'm giving it light force, and well, if I can knock it hard with a sledgehammer, then well, we'll know it fails, and well, yeah. But actually, if it survives a sledgehammer, I'd be pretty impressed, but I'm not counting on it. So do a check of our battery. It fits wonderfully. It's a little wiggly, but once we get the bracket, our bracket on there and sandwich it in, it's good to go. I went ahead and attached these new connectors. I hate using these, but it's all I had at the moment. So hopefully down the road we can maybe get some ring terminals on this bad boy. And yeah, so I guess all that's left to do is to hook it up, start her up. I'll catch you in a few minutes. I have to like pre-insert these, unfortunately. Let's see. This kind of has to, you have to just kind of push it in there. Like I said, this is all I've got, but it actually fits around the terminal just fine. I could start it right now, but I actually want to secure the battery down first. And we got plenty of thread on the other side, which is wonderful. And we can push up on this. So we are good to go. But before I do that though, I actually want to do some cable management with some zip ties. You know, I want to enjoy this Trike, if I'm honest. It's like I fixed something up, I've replaced the parts, and then something else decides to break. We had the starter motor go, no, we had, what did happen? Let's see, we did the electric start kit, and then the axle fatigued. The starter motor went kaboom, and then I had to diagnose a knocking issue. And well, now the battery is weak, as I like to say, because it's still the other battery, the old battery, is still good. It's just not giving a good amount of amperage for this thing. They're calling me out again. Boom. Boom. Okay. Let's see how she does. Okay. Clutches also kind of simmer down, because I don't know if I've talked about this yet, but I put some washers behind the clutch and I got a new set screw in there. It's holding in place. There shouldn't be any flake, just in case the set screw takes out again. If it does, that sucks. We'll just get another one, rinse and repeat the cycle. So let's see what the voltage is like on this battery too. I'm quite curious. All right, here we go. Got our multimeter. We can stick it in there. Whoa. Stick her in there. We are at 12.512 volts. Okay. Gotta find a better place to stick it though. Alright. Now if I can reach the throttle from here, which I don't even know how the heck I'm gonna do it with the Bandit. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to measure it, dude. But cool, it works. I'm happy. All right, well, she's parked into place now, and I'm off camera just a second ago. I did confirm that while I was running the Trike, and I gave it just a little bit of throttle, because it's hard to do everything with one hand. Just hear me out on that. But anyway, so once I did get it to work, I did see, just by giving just a little bit of throttle, it went from 12.5 to 12.6 volts, telling me that the battery is charging, which is wonderful. And another thing too is I wanted to see how it will react when it's well, worn. And apparently for now, it looks like I'm going to have to put the choke on, start it, and then unset the choke. Because if I just did it with the choke set to run, then it, well, I can hear the starter motor doing its work, but it's not really starting up properly. But yeah, that should do it for this video, folks. I appreciate you guys for all the support, for helping me figure out what the heck was wrong with this guy. And well, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.